Lots of activity on Palantir today for those watching closely, from buying to SEC filings to even a new blog post with tens of millions at stake in value out in Europe. Now, really quick, we get a second day in a row of purchase transaction from Cathie Wood, buying another 37,000 Palantir shares. This is smaller than yesterday's transaction of 100-ish thousand shares, but took place while most of the day Palantir hovered in the 26s until closing slightly down in the high 25s. So I'll continue to keep a lookout for those who like to know what she's up to. Then we've got a couple SEC filings for shares getting awarded over to Ryan D. Taylor and David Glazier, who each got 197,395 shares, which you can see at the $0 acquisition price. Now, this is already expected for management to get these rewards if they meet their goals, and we saw those earlier RSU awardings a while back to the other directors, but these are a bit bigger chunks. And my 2 cents, as always, there's a fine balance in keeping management's goals and incentives aligned with shareholders, and obviously everyone's got their own take on what's the right amount to balance this while keeping dilution in check. So do as you please with this information. Now, for the latest blog post, it covers the EU Artificial Intelligence Act, AIA, where there are tens of millions at stake for companies. This is a regulatory framework designed to promote trustworthy AI adoption in the EU, while still ensuring the health, safety, and fundamental rights of their citizens, balanced with supporting innovation, especially for SMEs and startups. Essentially, it establishes harmonized rules, prohibitions, requirements for high-risk AI systems, as well as transparency guidelines based on a product-focused, risk-based approach. So who's got what it takes to step up for this job for organizations out there? Well, it sounds like Palantir. So the key provisions for this act are bans on prohibited practices effective 6 months post-enactment, codes of practice within 9 months, general purpose AI rules within 12 months, and then longer deadlines for specific AI systems, such as those in freedom, security, and justice areas, with a 36-month timeline. And the real kicker here, which showcases where Palantir can step in, is that for anyone lacking, there's non-compliance penalties that can be significant, with fines up to 35 million euros or 7% of global revenue for prohibited practices, and up to 7.5 million euros or 1% for misleading information. And note, with regulations still in its infancy, AIA scope includes a broad definition of AI, with exclusions for personal, military, and open source uses unless they form part of a high-risk system. And then stakeholders are defined as providers and deployers, with the AIA's extraterritorial scope affecting entities beyond the EU. And really, the AIA is trying to mitigate these risks of prohibited AI practices, high-risk AI systems, minor and minimal risk AI systems, and just general requirements for the high-risk AI systems. So the main pitch essentially is that the tools provided by Palantir can help ensure compliance with the AIA and, of course, prevent any of those penalties. These things do add up, and we recently saw with the NATO article I covered earlier this week, Palantir has that reputation and built out products already made after decades of experience in this space to deploy the necessary tools today to meet this, which sounds like less headache for European customers that might take this up. But what are your thoughts below? And I'll see you in the next video.